think that we set him up really, really good, because I've been working with his daughter to get him in the room. So the first award goes to Paul Coates. So come on up here and receive this award. Over there. Now, this brother has done so much for me personally. He's done so much for me, and he's done so much for the Howard University community, because I'm not the only one he's helped. And he's done so much for his family, because, you know, his family is a very productive person. All of them, all of your children are fantastic, you know. So, brother, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know,
thank you.
I really appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. I'm first of all, this is surprising. It's a large surprise. So I don't have a lot to say.
That's the first.
Yeah, that's the first. That's first. The second is this. What I remember most about this brother, first of all, his name, True Mathematics, was a serious name. And I remember this brother, out of the hundreds of folks or thousands of students on campus, and I've told you this before, you were always a very serious and very focused brother. And you had leadership, even at that young age, written over you, which has come to pass. I don't remember most of the things that you're saying, and I don't remember the conversations. What I remember most is acknowledging you. And that's the second thing that I have to say, how important it is for us to acknowledge young folks who are coming behind us and to give them the support and encouragement. And just acknowledging their presence and their contribution, I think is essential, really, really essential. So if I occurred to you that way, and if I did those things, that's wonderful. I remember most your presence and what you did for me. Okay? Thank you. Thank you all. Yeah. Okay.
So we're kind of here just trying to raise awareness, keep the conversations going, and empower the diaspora and people outside of Sudan to stand up for the cause, voice their opinions about it, share about it, and in order to make a change.
And the point that Ibrahim made about this being the largest humanitarian crisis going on. And so one of the questions I have is, why aren't we paying more attention to it? Those of us who focus on the news and those who are from the region are paying attention. But of course, there's the distraction of Israel, there's the distraction of Trump. But there have been other events that have inspired far more attention from the global Black community and the global community in general. So why aren't we paying more attention?
And also, if I could just add something. This is something Bayadr, who's in the audience, who is an incredible poet, an activist, and social impact consultant. Something that she mentioned at a panel talk she did back in New York a couple of weeks ago is that I think we have this idea of imperialism and white supremacy falling on solely the white man. And I think it's also important to acknowledge that imperialism can grow within any society and any faction. So the UAE, although, you know, they're Arab, and you would think that they would look out for the Ummah, you know what I mean, and like the Islamic community, are actually the biggest funders of this war and one of the biggest perpetrators. And it is about race at times. And it's about, I think imperialism for me has shifted from being like the white man to just like wealth and greed and oppression in general. So boycott the UAE.
Yeah, that's where I was going with this, because The UAE seems to be like the bad guy.
But interestingly, the diaspora that's being created by the war, Dubai is welcoming it, or people are going to Dubai for safety. So there's an irony there, right?
That, no, 100%. And like, that's why I think from where we're standing, it's very easy to say boycott an entire country. But I mean, my mom lives there, so I physically can't, you know what I mean? Like, I had a show there in January and I felt so guilty about it, but I was also like, that's the only way I can get like a ticket to go all the way over there to see my family. And so many Sudanese people are taking refuge there, as well as in Egypt. But I think like when we say boycott the UAE, I think we more so mean be aware that that lifestyle of lavish luxury and extravagance and tourism that they're, you know, propagating, all of that, what you end up doing is funding something very bad.
So I think, you know, this time right now, although it's very difficult, it's created a strong sense of resiliency within the Sudanese people, both local and in the diaspora. Every Sudanese person you know or see is directly impacted by the war, whether it's, you know, their families over there, or they have family that's displaced, whatever, everyone's impacted. And so I think there's a strong sense of resiliency. And, you know, we're just kind of, even in the diaspora, I was just joking with my friend about this earlier, we're just kind of wilting through life and going through like our challenges here, but it's not really phasing us just because there's bigger problems and a bigger perspective that we can now have. And I think you see this resiliency of people that are in Sudan currently, you know, they're holding on to that hope of there being a day where they are free, they are still staying in their country while this war is going on. They're still fasting during Ramadan. There's still a strong sense of foundation with religion and God. And I see this time as breeding a strong diaspora and local people in Sudan that nothing's going to faze them. Great things are going to come out of it. You're already seeing it with art. You're seeing it in business. You're seeing more and more Sudanese people coming out every single day. You know, we have the top 10 richest woman in America is Sudanese. And so, you know, we have we're a very resilient group. Yeah, I see a lot of promise after this is all done with. And you know, for us at Nile Nights, you know, we started this as a way for us to celebrate our culture where there's a lot going on in the world and in Sudan. And like Hussein said, we're being stripped of our identity and culture. We wanted to start an organization that celebrated the culture, celebrated the people, showed we still are very dope. We still have all these amazing cultural experiences and things that people see that they're automatically gravitating to. And we just want to remind people of that. So, yeah, there's a lot of hope, a lot of pride, and definitely want y'all to come check it out tonight, 6 p.m. at the Howard Theater.
But for me, the hope that I see is honestly in this room. It's like each and every single one of you who came to hear us out because you care, because you think it's important. And that in itself is beautiful. And I think each individual here could probably go and tell another 5, another 10, another 15 people about the discussion we had today, about the event happening tonight, about the beauty of Sudan that you heard from us. And that's just going to be a ripple effect. And the next year we do this, inshallah, this auditorium will be full. The year after that, we'll have to move to a bigger venue. So my hope is just that we maintain this connection and this energy that we feel right now of caring and understanding and having compassion and keeping that momentum moving forward and passing it on.